Alright folks, today we are making this amazing looking miso pork belly beans pan. It's time to grill! One of my neighbors is farmer and he has the biggest farm here in town. And he has his own pigs. And every now and then he slaughters one or two of these pigs and you can buy a package of mixed local regional pork meat in his store. And I decided to buy a whole package of 20 kilo of German finest pork. This is pork belly, it's already sliced and all we have to do is cut this pork belly into dices with this size. Now keep going for the same size with the rest of the pork belly slices. And then we are checking the marinade. We are using again Shio Koji marinade, which is a Japanese marinade. I already used this in my katsu sandu Japanese schnitzel sandwich. And I have some leftovers of that and I don't mind using it here, so I don't have to throw this away. It's a marinade that has a great umami flavor and it goes inside the meat. All you have to do is marinate it, cover it completely inside that liquid, put it in the fridge for approximately 6 hours. After about 5.5 hours, I start to prepare a starting chimney full of charcoal briquettes as always. And as soon as the briquettes are completely covered with ashes, put them into your baskets, put on the grill grates, close the lid and let the grill heat up. In the meantime we can do the veggie chopping. You will need spring onions. Cut the spring onions in half, save both parts, cut away the tips and then slice the white and light green part. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a little bit slicing and then cutting it over and over again. 2 or 3 times should be enough. It will add a great freshness to your pork belly pan. Now we are slicing the rest. Don't do this too thin. It's only the topping at the end of the dish. We are also chopping up some garlic. Garlic will add great flavor to pork belly always. I'm using these bigger looking cloves of garlic, but make sure you can use the smaller ones as well. That's pretty easy. Only one more thing for chopping to come. Of course you will need fresh green beans. All I'm doing here is cutting away the tips too. If you want to recreate this dish at home, make sure to check the video description. We have a whole list of ingredients in there. As soon as we are ready with the beans, take out the pork belly and separate marinade and pork belly. The color of the pork belly is simply amazing. Now take off the lid of your grill. Start with a cast iron pan and throw the pork belly dices into the pan. This will now heat up very quickly. And you will see the fat renders out of the pork belly dices. Just keep going with the highest temperature possible. Make sure to stir it and it takes about 10 till 12 minutes until the pork belly dices will start to get browner and browner. And they are perfect. And they are perfect as soon as the color gets golden brown from every side. Make sure not to grill them too long now. Take them off as soon as they look like this and keep them warm in the meantime. Looks already good enough to eat. Now we have a nice fat inside the pan and just add the spring onions and the garlic. Keep stirring and let this cook for approximately 3 or 4 minutes. Now add the green beans. Give it a good mix. Let it sit there for several minutes and then place the cast iron pan on the indirect part of your grill. Keep on going with indirect heat Add a good amount of miso paste and beer. This is light miso paste. There are several miso pastes available in German grocery stores or online. It has a strong flavor, so make sure not to overdo the miso flavor. But keep going and mix everything with the beer and the miso. You will now get a really good dark brown color. Add back the pork belly dices, give it a good mix. And then let that simmer for approximately 15 minutes on indirect heat with a closed lid. I really enjoy the colors of that dish. Looks really good. After 15 minutes, your beans should start to get a little bit softer. You can now cook them to your personal preference. Sometimes I like beans with a little bit of a bite, so for me this is almost fine. Sprinkle over some sesame seeds, give it a good mix again, and let that simmer for another 5 minutes. This is more or less all you have to do. This dish is so easy and it's perfect for smaller pork belly pieces. You can just cut them into smaller dices and it will give a great flavor to any kind of dish. You can add almost any veggies that you like. Now final step, just sprinkle over the darker green parts of the spring onions and then we are ready to give this a go. And as always, I'm gonna give this a shot. It's amazing. I love those dishes. It's not very complicated, but it's so tasty. Please hit that like button, leave me a comment and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Make sure to visit my fan pages. 0815 Barbecue is almost everywhere. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm out. See you.